5 stupid mistakes people make in old age that destroy their lives. Aging is a privilege, one that many don't get to experience. However, growing older doesn't mean you automatically grow wiser. Some mistakes we make in our later years can quietly erode our quality of life, leaving us feeling unfulfilled, lonely, or even resentful of the years we worked so hard to reach. As someone who has lived through the ups and downs, I can tell you this: your golden years can be the most meaningful chapter of your life, but only if you avoid falling into certain traps. Here are the 5 most common mistakes people make in old age and how to avoid them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Neglecting physical and mental health. One of the most unfortunate mistakes people make in old age is treating their physical and mental health as afterthoughts. Many believe that because they've reached a certain age, their energy, strength, and clarity are destined to decline. They resign themselves to a sedentary lifestyle, poor eating habits, and passive routines, all while lamenting the aches and pains that come with aging. But here's the truth: while we cannot turn back the clock, we can decide how gracefully we age, how vibrantly we live, and how much joy we extract from each day. Your body is your most loyal companion. For decades, it has carried you through life's triumphs and challenges. It's the one thing that has stayed with you through every season of life. Yet, in old age, it's often the most neglected. We ignore the signals it sends us: fatigue, stiffness, and pain, which are not signs of defeat but cries for attention and care. The irony is that when we stop moving, we age faster. Mobility is life. A short walk in the park, gentle stretches in the morning, or even gardening can keep your muscles alive and your heart pumping. These small actions remind your body that it's still needed, still vital. And then there's the mind, our faithful guide through a lifetime of learning, loving, and striving. Yet, how often do we let it grow dull in old age? Some retreat into monotonous routines, letting the days blur into each other. They watch endless hours of television or scroll aimlessly through their phones, numbing their thoughts instead of sharpening them. But a mind left unstimulated loses its edge, and with it, the sense of curiosity and wonder that keeps life rich and meaningful. A neglected mind can also fall prey to loneliness and despair. As we age, the social circles we once relied upon may shrink. Friends move away, loved ones pass on, and our lives can feel emptier than before. This isolation gnaws at our spirit, convincing us that we are no longer relevant. Yet, the truth is the opposite. Our wisdom, our stories, and our presence matter more than ever. It's in these years that we should lean into meaningful connections, engage with our community, and keep building bridges instead of burning them. But the first step toward vitality, both physical and mental, is to believe in your ability to improve. Society often tells older adults that it's too late to change, but nothing could be further from the truth. Scientific research shows that even in your 70s and 80s, you can gain strength, sharpen your mind, and enhance your well-being with consistent effort. It's not about reversing time. It's about making the time you have left truly count. Take ownership of your health. Don't let your physical limitations or mental hurdles define you. When you nourish your body with wholesome food, you're not just eating, you're investing in more years of mobility, fewer doctor's visits, and a higher quality of life. When you move your body, even in small ways, you're telling it, I'm not giving up. When you challenge your mind, whether by reading a new book, taking up a hobby, or learning something entirely new, you're reminding yourself that growth doesn't stop at any age. Equally important is tending to your emotional health. Aging comes with its share of losses, and it's natural to grieve. But it's also a time to cultivate gratitude. Gratitude for the sunsets you've seen, the meals you've shared, the love you've felt, and the legacy you've built. It's gratitude that transforms aging from a burden into a privilege. When you shift your focus from what you've lost to what you still have, life becomes infinitely richer. Neglecting your physical and mental health is a slow surrender. It robs you of the vitality that should define your golden years. But the good news is that the choice is yours. Each day, you can decide to nourish your body, engage your mind, and connect with others. It's not about living forever. It's about living fully with purpose, clarity, and joy. Because the most precious gift you have is not your past. It's the present moment, and how you choose to spend it defines the legacy you'll leave behind. 2. Relying on vices for comfort. As we grow older, life slows down in many ways. The routines that once kept us busy, careers, raising children, endless errands, fade into the background, leaving more time than we often know how to fill. In this newfound quiet, many seniors find themselves turning to small comforts, habits, or indulgences to cope with boredom, loneliness, or even the deep emotional void that can accompany aging. But too often these small comforts become vices, and instead of filling the emptiness, they drain life of its vibrancy. It's easy to understand why this happens. The loss of structure in retirement can be disorienting. Days stretch long and unoccupied and without a sense of purpose. Even the most disciplined among us might turn to distractions. For some, it's alcohol, a glass of wine to unwind after dinner that eventually becomes a nightly habit. For others, it's excessive screen time, sinking into hours of television or scrolling through social media, searching for connection in a sea of isolation. And for some, it's more destructive, overeating, gambling, or even over-medicating to dull the pains of aging. These vices often start small, even innocently. A drink helps ease the stiffness in social situations. A favorite TV show brings familiarity and routine. A little indulgence in food feels like a reward for years of hard work. But over time, these habits can grow into chains, holding you back from the richness that life still offers. What begins as a temporary escape can rob you of the energy, clarity, and connection you need to thrive in your later years. The problem with vices is that they offer an illusion of comfort without solving the root issue. They distract from feelings of loneliness, sadness, or inadequacy, but they don't resolve them. Instead, they create a cycle of dependence. The more you lean on these habits, the harder it becomes to face the deeper truths about what you're missing. And so, many seniors find themselves living in a state of quiet resignation, dulled by their vices, but afraid to confront the emptiness beneath. Breaking free from this cycle requires courage. Courage to admit that these habits, while comforting, are not serving you. It also requires a willingness to replace them with something more fulfilling. The human spirit craves purpose and connection, and when we deny ourselves these, we inevitably seek substitutes. But there's a profound difference between a temporary distraction and a meaningful pursuit. Instead of relying on vices, seek out activities that nourish your mind, body, and soul. If you find yourself pouring a drink to pass the evening, try inviting a neighbor over for tea instead. If you feel drawn to hours of television, consider volunteering at a local organization where your wisdom and experience will be valued. If loneliness feels unbearable, reach out, call a family member, join a book club, or attend a community event. The world still needs your presence, your stories, and your compassion. It's never too late to build bridges and make connections. It's also important to examine the emotional triggers behind your habits. Are you drinking to mask feelings of regret? Are you overeating because you feel unfulfilled? Are you gambling because it gives you a rush you don't feel in daily life? By addressing these emotions head on, you can start to heal the underlying wounds rather than covering them up. Therapy, journaling, or even confiding in a trusted friend can help you unpack these feelings and find healthier ways to cope. Some might argue, at my age, why should I change? But the truth is, every day you wake up is a new opportunity to live better. Change isn't about erasing the past, it's about reclaiming the present and shaping the future. You deserve a life free from the grip of vices, a life filled with meaning, connection, and joy. Remember, habits can be replaced. If you have the capacity to form a vice, you also have the capacity to develop a passion. Channel your energy into pursuits that excite you, whether it's learning something new, exploring nature, or deepening your relationships. You are not too old to create a life that feels fulfilling and vibrant. Relying on vices for comfort is a form of surrender. It's an admission that the best days are behind you. But this is a lie that your vices whisper to keep you trapped. The truth is, you still have so much to give, so much to experience, and so much to enjoy. The key is to choose connection over isolation, curiosity over passivity, and purpose over distraction. When you do, you'll find that the emptiness fades, replaced by the warmth and richness of a life fully lived. 3. Clinging to a victim mentality. Life has a way of leaving its marks, and by the time we reach old age, many of us carry scars, emotional, physical, or financial. We've faced losses, disappointments, and struggles that have shaped who we are. But one of the most harmful mistakes we can make in our later years is to cling to a victim mentality, allowing past hardships to define the present and darken the future. It's natural to feel bitterness when life hasn't gone as we hoped. Perhaps relationships didn't turn out as we expected, leaving us estranged from loved ones. Maybe financial hardships or health issues have robbed us of the stability and strength we worked so hard to build. Some may have faced prejudice, betrayal, or even tragedy that left wounds too deep to heal easily. These experiences, while undeniably real, can cast long shadows over our golden years if we allow them to dominate our outlook. The problem with a victim mentality is that it keeps us stuck. By dwelling on what went wrong or who wronged us, we replay the pain over and over again, reinforcing the belief that life is unfair and that nothing can change. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We tell ourselves that we are powerless, and so we stop trying to improve our circumstances. We lose the ability to see the opportunities still available to us, and in the process, we rob ourselves of joy and purpose. But here's the truth. No matter how much the world may have hurt you, you are not defined by what has happened to you. You are defined by how you choose to respond. And that choice is always yours to make, even in the face of the greatest adversity. You can let your hardships become a weight that drags you down, or you can use them as stepping stones to rise higher. In old age, this choice becomes even more critical. Time is precious, and wasting it on resentment or regret only deprives us of the peace and fulfillment we deserve. Letting go of the victim mentality doesn't mean ignoring or invalidating the pain you've endured. It means refusing to let it control you. It means saying, yes, this happened to me, but it will not define the rest of my life. The first step to overcoming this mindset is to shift your focus. Instead of looking at what was taken from you, look at what remains. You may have lost loved ones, but you still have the capacity to love. You may face physical limitations, but your mind and spirit can still grow. You may not have the wealth or resources you once dreamed of, but you have wisdom, experience, and the ability to make a difference in the lives of others. Gratitude, even in the face of difficulty, is a powerful antidote to victimhood. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, life begins to feel fuller, brighter, and more abundant. It's also important to reclaim your power. A victim mentality often stems from a sense of helplessness, a belief that life is something that happens to us rather than something we shape. But even in old age, you have the ability to influence your world. You can mend broken relationships by reaching out with forgiveness and understanding. You can create new routines and habits that bring meaning to your days. You can contribute to your community through volunteering or mentoring, leaving a legacy of kindness and wisdom. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a reminder that you are not powerless. Perhaps the greatest freedom comes from learning to let go. Let go of grudges that weigh heavy on your heart. Let go of expectations that no longer serve you. Let go of the need to prove yourself to others or to seek validation for your struggles. When you release these burdens, you create space for new joys and possibilities. You open the door to a lighter, more peaceful way of living. Old age is a time to reflect, yes, but also a time to rewrite the story we tell ourselves. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim of life's hardships, see yourself as a survivor, a fighter, someone who has weathered the storms and is still standing. There is dignity in that. There is strength in that. And there is hope in knowing that even now, you can choose to live with purpose and positivity. Clinging to a victim mentality only keeps us tethered to the pain of the past. It's a choice that dims the light of the present and clouds the possibilities of the future. But by releasing it, by choosing gratitude, empowerment, and forgiveness, we give ourselves the gift of freedom, the freedom to live the years ahead not as a victim, but as the author of a new, beautiful chapter. 4. Ignoring financial realities. One of the most common and devastating mistakes people make in old age is ignoring their financial realities. After decades of hard work, it's tempting to feel that you've earned the right to stop worrying about money, to spend freely, to give generously, or to trust that everything will somehow work out. But financial security in old age doesn't just happen. It requires awareness, planning, and discipline, even during the years when you might feel you deserve to let your guard down. Ignoring this truth can lead to stress, dependence on others, and a loss of the dignity that should define your golden years. Retirement often comes with a false sense of financial freedom. With no daily commute or work-related expenses, it's easy to assume that your spending will naturally decrease. But in reality, aging brings its own unique financial challenges: rising healthcare costs, home maintenance, inflation, and the desire to enjoy life through travel, hobbies, or helping loved ones. For many, these costs add up far faster than they anticipate, especially if they haven't adjusted their lifestyle to align with their new financial circumstances. One of the most damaging habits in old age is living beyond your means. For some, this might take the form of lavish vacations, frequent dining out, or indulging in hobbies that come with hefty price tags. For others, it might be continuing to financially support grown children or grandchildren out of love, even when it strains your own resources. While these actions may feel fulfilling in the moment, they can quickly drain savings and leave you vulnerable in the years when you may need that money the most. At the same time, some seniors fall into the trap of denial. They avoid looking closely at their finances because they fear what they might find. They ignore mounting credit card debt, put off creating a budget, or avoid discussing financial matters with their spouse or family. But ignoring these realities doesn't make them disappear. It only allows them to grow into larger problems that are harder to fix. The key to avoiding financial ruin in old age is to take control of your finances with honesty and humility. Start by assessing where you truly stand. What are your fixed expenses? What do you have saved, and how long will it last at your current rate of spending? Are there areas where you can cut back without sacrificing your quality of life? Facing these questions may be uncomfortable, but it's a necessary step toward financial stability. Living within your means doesn't have to feel like a sacrifice. In fact, it can be empowering. When you adjust your spending to fit your resources, you gain peace of mind and the freedom to focus on what truly matters. Instead of chasing material comforts, you can invest in experiences and relationships that bring lasting joy. A potluck dinner with friends can be just as fulfilling as dining at an expensive restaurant. A simple weekend getaway can create memories just as meaningful as a luxury vacation. Living modestly doesn't diminish your life, it enriches it by reducing financial stress and allowing you to enjoy the present moment without fear of the future. Another critical aspect of financial security in old age is planning for the unexpected. Healthcare is one of the biggest expenses many seniors face, and it's often underestimated. Even if you're healthy now, it's wise to prepare for potential medical costs down the road. This might mean investing in long-term care insurance, setting aside a dedicated emergency fund, or exploring government programs and resources that can help reduce your financial burden. It's also important to seek help when you need it. Pride often prevents seniors from asking for financial advice, but doing so can make a world of difference. Whether it's consulting a financial advisor, attending a community workshop on budgeting, or simply having an open conversation with a trusted family member, reaching out for guidance can help you make informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom and responsibility. Lastly, consider the legacy you want to leave behind. Many seniors worry about leaving something for their children or grandchildren, but it's essential to prioritize your own needs first. Financial independence is the greatest gift you can give your family because it spares them the burden of supporting you. By taking care of yourself, you set an example of responsibility and resilience that your loved ones can admire and emulate. Ignoring financial realities in old age is a mistake that can erode not only your savings but also your peace of mind and sense of independence. But by facing these realities with courage and clarity, you can build a life that is secure, sustainable, and fulfilling. You've worked hard to reach this stage of life. Honor that effort by managing your finances wisely so you can enjoy the freedom, dignity, and joy that your golden years are meant to bring. 5. Waiting for someday. One of the greatest tragedies of old age is the habit of waiting. Waiting for the perfect moment, the right time, or the elusive someday to finally do the things that bring you joy or fulfillment. This habit, while seemingly harmless, is a silent thief of time. It steals not just days and months, but opportunities. Opportunities to live fully, to connect deeply, and to create memories that will sustain you through the quieter moments of life. The idea of someday is seductive. It whispers promises of a future where everything will fall into place, where your health will improve, where your finances will stabilize, or where your fears will suddenly dissolve. But someday is a mirage. It's a destination that never truly arrives. And for those of us in the later chapters of life, waiting for someday is perhaps the most dangerous mistake of all because time is no longer a luxury. It's our most finite and precious resource. What stops us from acting now? Sometimes it's fear. Fear of failure. Fear of change. Fear of rejection. Perhaps you've thought about picking up the phone to mend a broken relationship, but hesitated, wondering if the other person will reciprocate. Maybe you've dreamed of traveling to a place you've always wanted to see, but worried that your health might not keep up. Or perhaps you've wanted to try something new, a class, a hobby, a social group, but held back because you felt it was too late, or that you might embarrass yourself. These fears, while understandable, are the barriers we build between ourselves and a life well lived. At other times, it's pride or procrastination. You might tell yourself, I'll do it when I feel better, or I'll get to it after the holidays, or even, I don't need to rush, it can wait. But the truth is, life doesn't wait, and every time we put off an opportunity to connect, to explore, or to grow, we risk losing it forever. The call goes unmade, the trip unplanned, the moment unlived. And in the end, it's not the things we did that we regret most, it's the things we didn't do. There's a beautiful clarity that comes with recognizing that time is limited. It sharpens our focus on what truly matters, and gives us the courage to prioritize the things that bring us joy and meaning. Instead of waiting for the right time, we must learn to embrace the imperfect now. Call that friend or family member you've been meaning to reconnect with, even if you're not sure what to say. Book that trip, even if it means traveling with a little discomfort. Sign up for that class, even if you're the oldest one in the room. Act with urgency, because every moment you seize is a moment you won't lose. Living with urgency doesn't mean rushing or acting recklessly. It means living with intention. It means asking yourself each day, what can I do today that will make my life fuller, richer, or more meaningful? It's about breaking free from the paralysis of waiting and leaning into action, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. And here's the secret. The more you act, the more empowered you'll feel. Each step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. It reminds you that you are capable, that you still have the ability to shape your life and create new experiences. This is not about living in denial of aging or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about refusing to let those challenges define or limit you. The truth is, there's no perfect time to live fully. There's only now. The more we wait, the more we risk watching life pass us by, leaving behind a trail of what-ifs and missed opportunities. But when we choose to act, we open ourselves to the possibility of joy, connection, and growth. We prove to ourselves and to those around us that it's never too late to live with purpose and passion. Old age is not a time to sit back and watch the world go by. It's a time to lean into the present, to take bold steps toward the life you've always wanted, and to make peace with the life you've already lived. It's a time to recognize that every day is a gift, a chance to mend, to create, and to cherish. So don't wait for someday. Someday is not promised. What you have is today, this moment, this opportunity. Use it to make that call. Take that trip, try that new thing, or simply say yes to life. When you live with urgency, you'll find that the regrets of waiting are replaced by the satisfaction of action, and the life you once dreamed of becomes the life you're living right now. And that is the greatest gift of all. Living a life without regrets. As the sun sets on one chapter of life, it rises on another. Aging isn't the end of the road. It's a transition, a season rich with opportunities for reflection, connection, and growth. But to make the most of these years, we must avoid the mistakes that quietly diminish our joy and purpose. We must guard against the traps of neglecting our health, leaning on destructive habits, clinging to a victim mindset, ignoring financial realities, and waiting endlessly for a perfect someday. Each of these mistakes has the power to rob us of the dignity and fulfillment we've spent a lifetime building. But here's the truth. It's never too late to choose differently. The beauty of life is that every day offers a fresh start, no matter your age. You can choose to care for your body and mind, to break free from harmful patterns, to embrace gratitude and empowerment, to take charge of your finances, and to live with urgency. These decisions, though simple, have the power to transform your golden years into a time of meaning, connection, and joy. Remember, aging isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. It's about showing up each day with a heart open to new experiences, a mind curious about the world, and a spirit ready to leave behind a legacy of wisdom and love. The past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. What defines you is how you choose to live now, with courage, intention, and an unwavering commitment to making the most of the time you have. Let your later years be a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Let them reflect the richness of a life lived fully, with no lingering regrets or missed opportunities. Because at the end of the day, The measure of a life well lived isn't found in the number of years, but in the depth of the moments and the love, laughter, and purpose we infuse into them. So take that first step today. Embrace the present, because this moment right now is the greatest gift you'll ever have. Live it fully. Live it well. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.